Ray in Maryland, go ahead, buddy. Jump in here. How are you, Ray?
I'm good, man. Thanks for taking my call, Eddie. Hey, Kenny, what's up, brother?
All right, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. So in that moment you said you thought you were going to get into a fight. If shit did go down with you and Mellencamp, do you think you would have taken him, or I mean, your job?
Well, his nickname is Little Bastard, right?
Well, we were actually on the American Fool record. We ended up in a situation where we were face to face with our fists up. It was going to get nasty, and I went, and two guys had already gotten fired in the band. Well, one guy got fired, the other guy said, well, I'm out of here too. And I just knew that if we got into it, I would have been fired too. And my intuition was, there's a lot more details involved. You know,
yeah, right.
That's a funny story.
Do you still talk to him?
Yeah, I just saw him.
You're on pretty much all the classic records, right? I mean, that was your first big thing.
That was my big thing.
Yeah,
and I can't believe how many of those songs are on the radio all the time still.
Yeah.
No, I don't call him up and we don't talk, but I saw him when I was out with Sammy in Indy, and I saw him, and I did the Obama inauguration with him. I did when we honored Springsteen at the Kennedy Center honors. He was one of the guys I played with.
Yeah.
And we'll talk,
I interviewed Mellencamp once for TV.
Yeah.
How long? Probably about, would have been probably about 04, 05, something. It aired. It was for VH1. It was, and I did an hour with him, and it was funny because he's got such a reputation for being a hard ass.
Yeah.
And I didn't know him at all. It was the only time I ever dealt with him. But I remember my producer and everybody on the set, they were all so on edge because they're like worried I might say something wrong and I might piss him off or something could happen on camera because I didn't have history with them. And I'm like, it's going to be fine. And boy, it was fine. We had a great, I just remember as long as he was allowed to smoke during the shoot, smoking his cigarettes. And we had I remember at the end, there was like this big exhale and everyone was like, you did great to me. And I'm like, I don't know, I just did what I do. But they were like so worried that something was going to go off, It was like fine to me.
You know what? I'll tell you, man. I mean, there's some incredible memories. I remember him doing something. It was live, cameras, and his right-hand guy, there was some controversy going on, and the lady interviewing him had agreed not to talk about certain things, and she went right for it.
Yeah.
He looked right over at this guy's name, Harry. He said, Harry, I thought you told her we're not talking about it. And she kept pressing it, took his headset off and walked off.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he just walked right off.
He's not really active anymore, is he? Like, I don't see him out there. I don't hear about him touring or doing much anymore.
He doesn't tour as much. He does tour. He loves painting. He does other things. Yeah. He's not.
Ray, did you have something else you wanted to say? Because I've got about 5 minutes left. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Hey, Kenny, I got to meet you for the first time and only time at Eddie's 40th party in Vegas.
Oh, cool.
Couldn't have been nice. Yeah, I was the really good-looking guy with the Trunk Nation shirt, so you probably remember that.
I remember you. Yeah, of course.
And,
Kenny played with Sammy that night, which was awesome. With so many great musicians at that whole thing.
And you couldn't have been nicer. You took the picture with me. And, man, you're one of my favorite drummers to watch. You look like you're hitting the drum so hard, but yet...
Well, look at his guns. The guy takes great care of himself. The guy's in ridiculous condition, especially for any age, let alone... How old are you? You're 70, aren't you?
72.
God bless you, man. It's amazing.
Oh, he would have dropped Mellencamp like a bag of dirt.
Yeah, easily.
With those things. Yeah, exactly. But great talking to you guys.
Thanks, man.
Keep rocking, guys.
Come out to Vegas. Check the show out, man. It's badass.
Yeah, I'd love to.
It's the best the band has sounded, Sammy says.
Yeah, Sammy said, thank you, Ray.
Incredible.
Sammy said to me the other day on text, he says, come to rehearsal, which is tomorrow. I'm gonna. Yeah. And he said, come to rehearsals. You can hear how badass we sound. So you can go on the radio Wednesday and tell everybody how great it is.
Well, you know what? I said.
I just spent three shows in Japan. I told everybody, you're not gonna fall off the ledge now.
Nah, it's just that we rehearsed for 5 days and really put it. We just would run the set and the show, and I've had a chance to learn the stuff. It's like I'm not like just chasing after charts now. It's like now I know the shit's at a whole nother level. It's the drummer's like your engine.
Yeah.
If you have a bad engine, the car ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. Anything before I run out of time here, and we got to wrap the show. Anything you want to hit? I mean, you're doing these dates obviously with Sammy. What do you have beyond that for the rest of the year?
I got this incredible tour with Joe Satriani and Steve Vai in the same band.
They're doing a record together.
Yeah, and I did a video and a song that Glenn Hughes sang on.
I saw that.
It's badass. You know, Glenn Hughes has a way, and I did a Tony Iommi record with Glenn Hughes.
Fused. Record's called Fused. Dopamine. Great.
Dude. Did you know I never
They just reissued that record.
I know, because it kind of got buried.
Yeah, that's a great record. I talk to Tony about that all the time.
You know what?
Iommi Hughes Fused.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Unbelievable.
Kenny's the drummer.
Unbelievable. We did it in a big farm out in Wales, next to Rockenfield, where Queen used to do it. Anyway, I never heard the vocals until the record came out. Glenn has a way of putting vocals on afterwards, like he did with the Vai and Satching, makes it sound like we all recorded to his vocals.
Yeah. You know, Joe, a few years ago, Joe put out a solo record.
Yeah.
And he had Glenn play bass on the record.
Yeah.
And I had Joe on to promote the record. And I remember saying to him, I said, Joe, you've got Glenn Hughes playing bass on the record. And he said, yeah. I go, how do you have Glenn Hughes in the studio and you don't ask him to do at least a vocal or two? He goes, for exactly that reason. He said, because Glenn is so known for his voice and how extraordinary it is. He said that people overlook his bass playing, which is equally incredible. Right. Joe Bonamassa told me that too, and Kevin Shirley, who does those records, same thing. That Glenn's voice is so huge that people forget he's a great player. Yeah. So Joe Satriani said to me, that's great. You know, I just wanted to feature him as a bass player, which I did. So now it's cool that he's going back to him and including him as a singer. Yeah. Did he play bass on the track too, or no?
I think it was
just sang.
I think it was Marco Mendoza, who's in the band.
Oh, okay.
Who can sing his ass
right? I know
off,
Marco
too.
As well.
Yeah.
So Joe actually did both things. He used Glenn purely as a bass player, and now he's using him as a singer on a track, which is awesome. And Glenn's another freak. Glenn's like 74, and he's still insane,
singing as good as he's ever sung.
It's sick. What Glenn Hughes can do is sick. If Joel, if you can find a song, I'm putting you on the spot, Iommi Hughes called Dopamine. Play some of that as we end the show because it is so badass. And Kenny's playing bass and drums rather, and Glenn on bass and vocals and Tony on guitar.
Oh my God,
it is so good, and it was overlooked. It's about 20 years old, 25 years old, but they reissued it recently. It's so good.
We were going to be a band.
Here it is.
He's already on it. Guitar and bass together.
Yeah. We're done, Joel. This is my out music. I got to wrap it up. Great seeing you, brother. Everybody go see the show. We'll talk to you guys. I'll talk to you in a few minutes over on Hair Nation.